Alright guys, so this is our first foray into screen recording. Hopefully you can hear my voice. And here's our text. This is the first one. I'd like to look at 3 different passages to make this point that God is in control of salvation. Some people call it election, that God has foreordained that he will rescue a people for that. And if we see nothing else, let's know, believe, and have confidence that God will succeed in rescuing his people. Now, next week we'll look at our responsibility in that, and we'll talk about persuasion. But for right now, let's just look at this passage. So when Jesus says that I'm the bread of life, that might call to mind other places where God supplied the bread. Jesus says Moses didn't, but God gave you the manna that came down from heaven. You eat that and you get hungry again, but I'm the bread of life. And what happens whenever you partake of me? You're not hungry. Whoever believes in me will never thirst. And while we're talking about that, we'd asked, what are some of the theological terms that we can pick out? And what did you guys come up with? What are the terms that talk about salvation? Certainly believe is one of those. How about gives? Comes. Now, notice the relationship between that. Who comes? But the ones whom the Father gives. And what happens first? This one right here happens first, and this one follows. Whoever comes to me will never be cast out. This is where we start getting some of that confidence. Whoever comes to Jesus, Jesus will never cast out. For I came down not to do my own will, but the will of him who sent me. And this is the Father's will. What is the Father's will? That I should lose nothing. So there's a direct relationship. Whoever God gives, remember, right there, whoever God gives comes. And the one who comes will never be cast out. And here's the bottom line. Of everyone that God gives, Jesus will lose nothing, but raise it up at the last day. So we can talk about this. What questions do you have? Does this trouble you at all? But the thing that I really want you to see is God's purpose in salvation is fulfilled. When he sets out to save, he saves. And that should give us tremendous confidence when we go out into our communities and share this gospel.